Hey everybody, it's Bobo the Vulture, and it's time for more Extreme Warfare Revenge by Adam Ryland. That guy. The war's back on, so let's continue with normal buttons and load the game. June 1st, 2017. I've decided I'm going to raise my advertising up to 15%, and we got a lot of money, and I'm hoping that we will continue to increase in public image, because I think when we get to regional is when the game actually starts to change in its style of gameplay. Let's meet with Sophie real quick. She says we got 17 workers on the roster. Let me look up something real quick. Hopefully all you folks are having a great day. I'm doing just fine. I'm doing just fine. Um, Wanted to look up recent comments I've had on the series. Because I get comments on this, and I get views, and it's nice. Let's see. It was... this time it actually was Mist B, as opposed to Eric Banks or... Um, sorry. Anybody else leaving me comments? I think Miss B suggested maybe I could hire some guys to just completely job out to my dudes, um, which makes a certain amount of sense. I I'm resistant to the idea, just broadly speaking, because I always hate 3XW written contracts. And that will change everything so that 2Dope is up here. What's 2Dope all about? He would work for us. He's a pretty good brawler, really. What about Too Tough Tony? These guys aren't bad wrestlers. About 911. This is A1. Is this actually Alistair Ralphs? That would be possible, although I thought Alistair Ralphs was Canadian. That guy's been criticized for being lazy in the ring. Well, isn't that a thing? Amanda Storm, Passion Storm. Anyways, let's oh, Angela, another worker. But I suppose it would open me up to the opportunity to have a worker and feed them to my guys. Vader signed an open contract. Oh, Vader is under open contract. Maybe I could have him come down and job to some of my dudes. I imagine that would be prohibitively expensive. Yeah, my promotion is probably not big enough for you, brother. Hoo, 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 hoo. Besides, he also tours with World Japan. So, there's that. Oh, there's Villanos 4 and 5. Oh, they are not too big for our promotion. That's nice. This is the Viper, but I don't think it's actually the Viper Randy Orton. So, don't get too excited. Let's continue along with our journey. Yeah, I should probably just allow the days to go by. Because there's nothing we're really going to be able to do until the last Saturday of the month, and we book a pay-per-view. Outside of, I guess, theoretically, we could make more hires, but really, you can only make staffing changes during the middle of the month. You can only change the big things like how much you spend on advertising, production, merchandising, all that sort of thing on the first of every month. It's just the way the game's set up. I guess I get it. It makes the number crunching a little bit simpler. Um, you just have to remember, folks, bear it in mind before you skip past the first of any given month. That's one of the reasons I like to stop at the first of the month for all these videos. That and it makes for a natural cutoff, although obviously some of these they take a while if I go through the whole month. I think the last one, not the last one, but I guess the one before the last, maybe was it? Whenever I went through all of the gimmicks and we just looked at all of them, that one obviously took a while just because there's a lot of gimmicks to go through and just sort of get the descriptions of them. But now you have a vague idea of what's available. Some of them could be big fun, I feel like. But what I'd actually like to see would be, I think Sanjay Dutt and Katsushi, is it, who do I, what's his name? Katsushi Takamura? Yeah. I think, well, that's right, but they're both faces. I keep forgetting that for some reason. Maybe I keep thinking for some reason that, I mean, I guess Takamura, it, just from his gimmick, sounds like he would have been working as a heel previous to now. Well, let's go ahead and ECW have risen to national level, so they are bucking the trend of the industry shrinking. They signed Tony Schiavone and Mike Chioda and some other folks. Steve Williams, Vito Tomaselli, Tito Ortiz. They signed Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South. TV's been renewed. Hydro signed to a written contract. Samoa Joe will be in an open contract. Chris Styles, Nate Hatred. Okay, more television show stuff and pay-per-view stuff. Wait, what is? They were 33 people attended Beulah's show. Wait, was it? No, Beulah's not running it, is it? It's Missy Hyatt. All right, let's clear all that. Let's quick check in the meeting with Sophie. Good. We still have 17 workers. I was concerned that maybe in my haste to just sort of quick flip through that we might have missed somebody getting hired away. How's this feud going? Need to build this rivalry up more. You're probably right. Axel Law and Steve Stone need to have more stuff going on. All right. So again, trying to keep the pay-per-view events cheap. I realize these have been somewhat formulaic. Actually, let me go back here because let's look at the event history. Oh, Axel Law and Steve Stone did fight, but it wasn't a clean result. So let's go ahead and have them fight again. And this time the gimmick is going to be that Bruce Sanchez is banned from ringside. There's no actual way to have that happen. So we are just going to go with Axel Law versus Steve Stone. You and I, viewers at home, we will know that that's what's going on. He's suspended in the tiny steel cage, which is not something we're actually going to bother to do. We are going to make Axel Law through cheating. He is going to cheat. And then after that, they are going to brawl to the back. And this will further the feud. Not a complete booking of that segment. Let's go ahead and start off with an interview of single worker with manager. High charisma Bruce Sanchez talking for Axel Law. They're going to be cutting a promo about Steve Stone, and that will serve to continue their rivalry. But yeah, folks, they don't do it as often anymore. Nowadays, they'll just say a person is banned from ringside. But it used to be they would literally have like a little steel cage that they would put the manager in. Very often it would be Jimmy Cornette. But they put them in a little cage so that they wouldn't be able to run in and interfere, i.e., like hitting with the tennis racket that was the trademark manager object of Jimmy Cornette. But let's see. So that was a good that's a good match, I feel like. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the world of our wrestlers. Everybody's pretty happy, honestly, considering the state of the industry, the state of the union. Katsushi Takamura is not super duper happy, so maybe have him have a fight. Takamura could get into another match. He's immediately 37 over. That's how much. That's how much these guys have managed to do. I really do feel like these two would put on a great match, even though they are both faces. I think it might be worth doing, just both to increase their. Both because I think it would be a good match. Um, so one singles, Katsushi Takamura and Sanjay Dutt. There is no title on the line. I'll give this one to Takamura. And it'll be clean because they're both fair fighters. And the aftermath is going to be a handshake. Because they're both good guys, and that's what good guys do. They shake hands after their athletic competition. This is to put on a good match. So it is face versus face action, but they're both really talented, and I like the idea of seeing them in the ring together. And if it turns out that they have really great in-ring chemistry, I might turn one of them heel, at some point later on down the line, and then have the two of them feud. Katsushi Takamura was working an evil foreigner angle. Maybe bring that back. Maybe make Sanjay Dutt do some other angle other than fun babyface, because that is clearly a good guy angle. You can't be a fun babyface and be a heel, folks. Babyface is like the ultimate height. Babyface is like another turn. I mean, it's why they call it face, basically. Babyface, face. Yeah, you can't do it. You couldn't be a bad guy and be a babyface at the same time. That's not the way that these things work. Let's I would like to see Jarrell Clark have a nice match. Maybe he could have a nice match with geez, let's see. Actually, he would have a good match with Jarrell Clark and Lil Nate. They are they're very similar superstars. Actually, didn't what did we see last time? Was it Fast Eddie asking to have matches with Steve Stone? Was that what was happening? Maybe we could do a Fast Eddie versus Steve Stone match. Didn't they already? Yeah, didn't. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm going to make Jarrell Clark and Lil Nate have a match. That is what I'm going to do. And Steve Stone and Fast Eddie can deal. Well, because Axel Law is already in the middle of an angle. See, this is the thing. I gotta get these guys more distinct personalities and names and such. Right now, everybody's just wrestling. Makes it a little bit confusing in my own mind. But anyways, I was going to give, let's see, El Majito is 52 over. Why don't El Majito and Fast Eddie have a match? Did they just have a match last week? Is that what I'm forgetting? That's possible. Let's go ahead and have Fast Eddie and El Mojito have a match. Even if they did have a match last month, what chances anybody remembers? Fast Eddie versus El Mojito. There is nothing like that going on. This will be a win for El Mojito. El Mojito wins clean. There is no aftermath. And the purpose of this is to put on a good match. Tell you what, kind of think of it. If El Mojito is still upset after this, it may be because we have him listed as mid-card, even though we're using him as an upper mid-carder. The rankings there don't really do anything in the game other than make these guys feel better. So yeah, Jarrell Clark and Lil Nate are going to have a match here. Match 1 versus 1 singles. Jarrell Clark versus Lil Nate. No title on the line. This one will be a win for Jarrell Clark. Jarrell Clark will do this. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Maybe by making Bruce Sanchez interfere. And the aftermath will be nothing. And it's going to be put on a good match. There we go. Bruce Sanchez already has to be doing something in the show today, so it may as well be that. So the fans all love El Mojito, so let's go ahead and do the, let's do an interview segment here, in which, actually no, let's exit out of here. What do I want to do here? Steve Stone. Steve Stone should do an interview somewhere in here. Although Steve Stone, he would be needing help. And yeah, boy, why do I do stuff like this? Axel Law versus Steve Stone, and Axel Law, obviously he needs the help. Whew. So let's give a trying to think how I want to do this. Let's start with an interview, a single worker with manager interview, and it will be Miss Tennille with Sanjay Dutt. Bean says with a candlestick in the library. I'm trying to remember now whether or not, have I actually debuted Sanjay Dutt as a disciple of Miss Tennille's? I think I have. So let's go ahead and do that. Single work with manager, Miss Tennille, and Sanjay Dutt. Select targets, none. They're just talking about how cool they are. Actually, wait. This could be a good time to use an angle. Oh, hang on. Angle. Manager angle. Angle that involves managers. Let's see. Manager lures faces manager. Two managers agree. Or two managers argue about whose client is better. No. Manager asks worker. No. Maybe what I'm looking for here is a diva angle. Angles that involve divas. Backstage argument, bikini contest, catfight, diva argument, diva flirts with guy, diva kidnapping, diva walks in on unintentional. Flirting to an ambush, heel protects her man, gets floored stripping. No, okay. So, never mind. I was thinking there might have been an angle in which a manager could convince her convince two of her workers to have a match. Like basically, hey, you two are great. I think you guys sorry. My voice is sounding a little bit odd. My apologies for that. None. They're just doing self-promotion here, so that's good, right? Everybody likes a little self-promotion. So now, let's have an interview segment. An interview segment, yes. Will be, yeah, this will be the place. This will be the segment where we'll put El Majito in. El Majito can hopefully get people riled up about whatever matches are going on next. Who do I have him fighting? Fast Eddie? Yeah, that sounds right. Hype that match. Pardon me. Alright, so let's finish booking that segment. Indeed. So, next we will have an interview. This will be single worker with manager. It's gonna be Miss Tenille with Steve Stone. They're gonna be talking about Axel Law, hyping up this feud, baby. So let's continue that. So now, right now, we have two segments involving Miss Tenille. 3 segments involving Bruce Sanchez, because Bruce Sanchez cheats to help Jarrell Clark win. Actually, no, it's just Bruce Sanchez and Bruce Sanchez here. So actually, yeah, we could have another Bruce Sanchez interview segment in which he talks about one of the other workers that's here. He could talk about how great Jarrell Clark was. Yeah, there we go. He's going to be like, did you see how great that match was? We will see whether or not that turns out to be too much Jarrell Clark for one show. Let's go ahead and give it a start. You're starting the show. Miss Tenille gained overness from this segment. Sanjay Dutt not so much, interestingly. Let's move on. Bruce Sanchez and Axel Law both gained overness from this. Nice. 93%. See, I knew these guys could have a good match. And look at how little the crowd cared. Because they're both just good guy blue chippers. But that is an amazing match. 93%? That's the first time I've ever met in the ring, too. Oh my gosh. The fact that that match had 20% interest and still managed to knock up into the positive territory. Yamajito's backstage, hyping up Fast Eddie matchup. Lil Nate lost overness from this match. It was a good match, though. Jarrell Clark and Lil Nate have a good thing. Jarrell Clark is losing overness because of his weak gimmick. Okay. So both of them might be a little bit disappointed next week. Miss Tenille gained overness from this segment. So she's gaining overness. None of her clients are gaining overness from these interviews. Fast Eddie versus El Majito. Okay, so they put on a good match here, so that's nice. And the crowd was pretty into it, so that turned out to be a good segment. Again, the managers are gaining more overness from these segments than their clients. What's going on here? And the crowd is warmed up-ish at this point, so 67% match was enough. Honestly, Axel and Steve Stone really aren't putting on stellar matches. They're good matches. 67%, that's a good match rating. It's not great. But Axel and Steve, I mean, I don't know. Are we supposed to think that Bruce Sanchez's interference here is what's Oh, that's right. He didn't interfere in this match. I don't know why I was thinking he did. He interfered in the earlier match, which was a pretty good match. 59% show, though. That's been better than some of our recent shows. So, that's good. Yes, you are absolutely right. Katsushi Takamura and Sanjay Dutt have fantastic chemistry in the ring. In fact, Eddie and El Majito work together pretty well. So, I tell you what. I'm not going to put question marks next to any of these because it is a fact. These guys work well together. Not dot, dot. So yes, let's go back to, yeah, they have fantastic chemistry. I mean, I could see the gossip mags already. Chemistry between Katsushi Takamura and Sanjay Dutt. Oh my. Alright, next, 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 next. Probably didn't need to actually deal with all that stuff. Just wait till the end of the month. Now then, let's go all the way back up here. These are pretty much all going to be, oh, ECWA released Japanese Pool Boy. I wonder if Japanese Pool Boy is worth anything, or Sebastian Knight. So, just out of curiosity, I'm not familiar with either of those two performers. Sebastian Knight. He's a decent speed guy. He's a good high flyer. He's been criticized for being lazy in the ring, though. He would work 15 grand a night. Alright. What about Japanese Pool Boy? What about Jasmine Victoria? No. Japanese Pool Boy. Oh, he's a good high flyer. He's a good all-rounder. He's also been criticized for being lazy in the ring. He asks for even more money. So, all right. Let's look at our staff too. We have okay, the guys we initially hired, they have one more, like after tomorrow, they'll have one more month in their contract. So at that point, we may be looking to either renew their contracts, although they're not incredibly talented guys, or hire new people. So we got that to think about. Got that to think about once. Ooh, 37. We are moving up. Once I flip the party switch, and we go to the next day. Next day, hell, we go to the next month, baby. Look at that. More ratings for more things. New rosters. Marcos is back from injury. Staff member Cordelia Dallas has retired. Bushwhacker Luke is retired. Wait, Cordelia Dallas isn't a member of our staff, is she? Bushwhacker Luke, Richard Pete Nagel. WLW have a new TV show. Bruce Sanchez wants more money. Lou E. Dangerously has left XXXW. Ricky Morton left ROH. Sanjay Dutt wants more money. Wife Beater has left FLI. Well, honestly, FLI, you're better off without him. No, I'm just saying, Wife Beater, come on. Alright, a bunch of people are leaving FLI, apparently. Dunn, you're asking for more money? You're shooting yourself in the foot. Laughing Larry has a month left on his contract. Zebra Stripes has a month left on her contract. Davey Cornell has a month left on his contract. Some sponsorship deals have ended. Only 25 grand. Superb work. Our public image is improving every month. We've been making money for 3 months running. So good. We're managing this whole the industry is shrinking thing, unless the industry has started to grow again. Yep, signs are the market is beginning to weaken, and it is at 63% of its peak, so it is, yes, definitely going down. Alright, but let's take a look at the world of sponsors, as we do every month. Anybody interested in doing business with us that would offer more money than we already have? No, sir. Because 60 grand, I think our lowest is 85, is it not? Yeah. So there you go. Although that particular promotion or that particular interested group is, let's see, minimum morality 31. If we search interested then. All right, there really aren't that many groups interested in us. So it may turn out that Mick Mars Bars, um, we end up re-signing with them next month. It'll be a change of fortunes to actually have some consistency, wouldn't it? So, last month, our staff costs were the same, our production costs the same, merchandising costs the same, advertising was another 50 grand. So, you can see the money that we're making from sponsorships the same, merchandise the same, ticket sales is very similar. And actually worker costs were identical, coincidentally. So, I kind of want to keep advertising at this level because I feel like after next month, we're going to probably make some new staff hires and they will probably be more expensive. Let's take a look at the world of other staff right now. Let's go into search criteria. Maximum talent of 40. And let's go back. So there you go. We see we got some guys. This ref, he would probably, okay, 11 grand a show. That's 10 times more. So we'll need a new ref. We will need Brian Johnson. You would work for 10 grand, all right. You see, well, interestingly enough, there's a lot of refs out there right now. I'd be interested perhaps in talking to us. We would need we'll be needing a new medic. Here's a relatively talented medic. Wants 5 grand for 3 years. Okay. So maybe we'll be all right in that respect. Hardcore Daryl, the referee. Joel Hamilton. We already went into, and checked out what's going on in the world of announcers, didn't we? John House. It's Big John's house. Okay, so we will probably be, we'll be able to find talented people. Sonny Ocho is a referee. 12 grand, my goodness. Vivian America, a writer. Vicky Wilmington, a trainer. Zandermaiden. Okay, so some interesting names for some interesting people, surely. When we come back next time, folks, we are going to run into the next exciting month of events. I suppose I could just check the event calendar right now and make sure July is set for a Saturday. It is. What about August? It is. What I'm hoping I did was, yeah, just go ahead and fix all of them. I suppose that would have been one way to figure out, wouldn't it? And just go to Christmas Carnage and see whether or not it was set right, and it sure was. So there you go. Use wrestler. Let's not use a wrestler as the color commentator. Let's use Laughing Larry. So honestly, let me go back. Tommy Chill's pretty charismatic. I might actually use him as my color commentator, the heel man beast, Tommy Chill. But that'd be pinching pennies. And a lot of people, even though I don't think the game actually does anything with it, have suggested that having a wrestler be out there and then occasionally get in the ring and do a match is kind of weird. Although I feel like Vampiro is doing that in Lucha Underground. Um, Whatever. We'll figure it all out in the future. But for now, this is Bobo of Ultra. This has been Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope I will see you all next time. Bye for now.